would be.
That was perfect.
I wish I could tell. Headphone plug. So
I bought the adapter.
I got two. I have two adapters. That's where
You know, I normally leave stuff next to my car keys so that I do remember them, you know? Like my bar key and shit like that.
you think, you know. Somebody will get today along the production day in this country.
all of
Valentine's
us.
Day and Super Bowl.
Cheers, queers. It's From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, and drinking in general. Happy Valentine's Day, you queers.
Totally forgot it was today.
I didn't. I definitely did not.
I hope you didn't, as you were the only one with a girlfriend, so you need to be on your Valentine's Day.
Well, a friend and listener, Maddie, came in on Saturday and brought me some chocolates and a heart sticker.
Aww.
So that was a definite reminder. Her and Franklin, well, at least her, she loves Valentine's Day.
Ladies really love Valentine's Day.
So Allie and I are going to do ours on Wednesday because obviously we're doing this tonight, and I'm all business, baby. You know what I'm
Glad
saying?
somebody is.
True professional.
We are back on YouTube, and if you would like to watch us, just visit Paxton Eugene's YouTube channel and subscribe to it, because as I see the people who are watching, about 8% are subscribed. So if you do like the show and you want to watch us on YouTube, just hit that little subscribe
It really
button.
helps out, and you can rate. I like to hit. And when you watch the episode, hit that like button.
Hit the
for
like
us.
button, man.
The like button really helps
Or
us.
as the kids say, smash that like button and stand outside the subscribe button's house and slash its tires
play
Link in the bio.
Careless Whisper
on Valentine's and while playing Careless Whisper.
with the boombox. Well, I guess you just hold your phone up
Hold the phone up playing From Behind the Barcast.
at the window of your loved ones. You really want to romance somebody.
So,
How was weekend? Did anything fun?
yeah,
happen at
it
work?
was fine, whatever. We had the Super Bowl yesterday, but
Congratulations to the Rams. Matt Stafford.
and Matt Stafford. I kept wanting to call him Josh Stafford for some reason. Do we know a Josh Stafford?
I think
Yeah,
we
we do.
Yeah, I kept being like, Josh Stafford. Well, see, I was pulling for the Bengals because a couple whose wedding I officiated, they're Bengals fans. They weren't there; they were at home watching. But I was pulling for them. But at the same time, I wanted Matt Stafford to.
I was going to be happy no matter
To
what.
get
I was
one
pulling
in,
for the
you know?
Bengals because I got good buddies. My buddy Brian's a Bengals fan. A couple other friends,
Yeah.
but
I
I'm
didn't have
happy Matt Stafford won.
Yeah, for sure.
The halftime show also won.
So we had a 56 ingredient hot dog bar, or 56 topping hot dog bar.
Hot dogs have 56 ingredients. That's
Yeah, I know, right?
There's 56
Especially the
really.
ones that we put out.
Yeah. Are they the big red ones?
They're not the
angry
kosher kind.
The angry red ones that come in the gigantic.
They are not
package?
Hebrew National.
That's what
These
it
are made by Protestants in Lower Kentucky. But
You're saying they don't go all the way?
But you would not believe, with all those toppings, how many people still wanted to order pizza.
You would think.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all this.
Well, it's
even
just-
SpaghettiOs, Jeff Rowe. Shout out.
I'm
Jeff
telling
Rowe
you,
loves it.
SpaghettiOs, macaroni and cheese, whatever you could put on a dog.
That's
But
my go-to.
yeah.
SpaghettiOs and mac and cheese.
I do mac and cheese first. You know, that's the
Just in case
first
there's
one
not
that I
enough
do.
carbohydrates in a hot dog, in a hot dog bun. You're like, you know what I need to put on there? More carbs and more
Call
carbs.
it a sodium dog.
There you go.
Yeah. You have
Some
one,
people
can't
eat
salt-
stadium dogs. I eat sodium dogs.
Yeah, and that's all the sodium you need all week long.
But it's like that on Thanksgiving as well. So we cook huge, people bring stuff up for Thanksgiving at Pooh's, and we have tons of leftovers. People come in at night like, hey, can I get a pepperoni pizza? I'm like, I can make you a giant plate of the best Thanksgiving food. Now, I understand if you've been eating Thanksgiving food all day and you don't want any more,
Don't be a quitter. Keep eating Thanksgiving food.
just stop eating. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
saving room for Huckapoo's Pizza. Well, this
Unless you got kids. Sometimes you got
Yeah, I
those
guess
little
so.
kids, you gotta feed them.
Kids are stupid and they suck. So
Yeah. We don't allow kids on this podcast.
So here's a little role play
Except
for
for
you,
Vinny.
okay? So you are the customer.
I'm a customer.
And I'm the bartender, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Hi, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. What would you like?
Do you guys have any specials, anything kind of fun going on for the Super Bowl? Anything?
Yeah, we have the 56 topping hot dog bar.
Oh, nice. Do you have any drink specials?
No, we don't normally do drink specials, but all of our top shelves are $5. And then if you wanted to get pizza, there's it's $20 for a whole pizza, unlimited toppings.
Oh, cool. I'll get a pizza and a Tito's and water.
Okay, perfect. Got it. All right, now let's reverse it.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, waiter, what's up, man?
I'm a bartender.
Hey, bartender, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing very well. I was just wondering if you guys had any drink specials tonight or food specials.
We don't do drink specials here. It's not really our thing, but we have $5 top shelf drinks.
Okay.
And then we have a 400 topping hot dog bar over
yeah.
there, or you can get a pizza, 20 toppings, $20 for unlimited toppings.
Okay, so what kind of specials do you have on pizzas?
An unlimited amount of toppings at $20
Okay.
on the pizza.
Oh, okay.
So you could get pepperoni, ground beef,
Okay.
green peppers.
So, what did you say the drink specials were?
$5 top shelf drinks.
Oh, do you have like the Mississippi, Alabama wigwam for you?
No, we've got.
So wait. What are your specialty?
beer.
What are your specialty frozen drinks?
Oh, we don't have those. We have ice though.
Oh.
Would you like ice in your drink?
Do you have any specialty cocktails for like women?
No.
Do you have any specialty toppings for your pizza?
We're about to not have pizza if you keep asking me these stupid ass questions.
All right, fine. I'll just take a Tito's and vodka.
There's always one. There's always one. Or, even better is, shout out to my sister Charlotte for trying to set up her friend that was in town. Her friend Caroline came in town from Florida with another friend of hers. And she was like, hey, go do the thing. Go do the thing. Because they had discussed it at some point in time in the evening. And she got giddy, never having heard our podcast, and goes, I'll have two Tito's and soda.
I was like, okay, would you like limes with them? And I gave them 2 Tito's and soda, and they looked at me so weird. They were like, what?
Because they were like, Charlotte's like, film it. I'm like, okay, you do it. You can. And then that happened. And I was like, well, that was very underwhelming.
So then after like 2 minutes of me just being completely confused, I was like, oh, they meant to say Tito's and vodka. And because I saw Chelsea with the phone out, like ready to film them. And I was
they were so excited about it happening. And I was like, I can't be less enthusiastic about this.
And then she goes, I don't even drink Tito's and soda.
That's the best part. She doesn't drink.
I was like, I'll make you something different if you want.
We had a large time though.
Yeah, but so over the weekend, so this is so I worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which I normally only work Saturdays and Sundays. But Friday, I came in and it was about 9 or 10 at night, and some Germans came in. It was like 2 German dudes, 1 German lady, and their American friend. I guess they're visiting, whatever. And the guy, 3 of them were drinking, and 1 was only drinking Coca-Cola. So the German guy, he goes, oh, excuse me, I would like to order Shea Coors Light Draft.
Oh yeah, the German 3.
And he held up the German 3.
You got the 3.
And I was like, he really is chumming. So I had to go and look it up. So Michael Fassbender and Inglourious Bastards,
Yes.
if you're unfamiliar with what
Great
I'm talking
scene.
about.
If you're unfamiliar with that scene
Yeah.
basically is one of the best scenes of all. I mean, Glorious Bastards itself has some. Just
Talk about tension.
Some tense scenes. The opening scene
Yeah.
and that scene. I mean, that first time I saw that,
Yeah.
I was in the theater. The opening scene, like, Shoshana. Like,
Shoshana.
the whole. Usually at the beginning of the movie, people are still moving around and stuff. Like the theater got creepy quiet when Christoph Waltz just.
I've never been more terrified of a person I'd never seen before because that was the first movie I'd ever seen him in.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
And,
Me
I
too.
was just like, who the fuck is this?
And
guy?
he's not
he-
a big man or
and then he
anything.
won an Oscar.
Yeah, he can speak like 8 languages fluently.
Yeah, he's great.
So I looked it up, and so Germans are like, yes, it's stupid to start counting from your pointer finger. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean?
Because really, that's you're going in order.
Yeah.
Of most, wait.
So then I started.
Left to right.
Then I started thinking like, oh, my 3. If someone's asking for 3, is I give them the.
Me too.
I
I give them the backwards.
I do the
this.
OK
That
3.
American
Well, it's also
shit.
a white power sign, so you can do that.
Or it's stick your finger in the hole and I punch you in the arm.
I have
or
a statue
whatever.
of that in my house.
Oh, yeah,
Of the
yeah, you
hand.
do.
It's like
Hey.
bigger than my hand. I got it from the staff at Garibaldi's.
Listen
Thank
to
you
this shit. I lifted the seat in the Huckapoo's toilet the other day to pee, and someone had drawn that on there with a.
They touched the toilet.
touched the bottom of the toilet seat with a Sharpie.
They put that Sharpie back in their pocket.
And I punched myself in the arm for getting caught by it. I was like, you got me. So then.
Those were the glory days.
So then the Germans leave, and a new group comes up. And you ever heard of Woo Girls? Obviously.
I rode home with 4 drunk girls on
Okay,
Friday
Woo
night.
Girls, they just, for no reason, they go,
Oh, there's all kind of people like that.
Yeah.
I
We know guys like that.
I was going to say, I had 3 Woo guys in there. And there wasn't a game on.
Asian or Woo?
No.
I hate the
Wu Tang. Wu Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Wu Tang.
They were triple Woo. There was the Wu-Tang Clan.
They
with a
were
guy named
3
Woo.
like 50-year-old dudes, and there wasn't a game on. There wasn't. No one was even playing ring toss. And every so often they go, woo! I'd be like, did someone fall down the stairs?
Can I describe what these men are wearing? Because I have a really good idea. Croquis, backwards, at night.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They had ventilation on the back of their shirt. Whatever.
Live free or die hard.
Yeah. So they drank a few beers and then they ordered 3 shots. And this is something that I hate. Like, so I'm at the outside bar, so I can't get away from this. So they ordered the 3 shots, and 2 of them are very familiar with each other, and the third person doesn't seem like he knows the other 2.
But he's joined the Wu-Tang.
He's there. He's with them, but he's not.
He's Wu-Ting?
So the guy,
Wu-Ting.
Woot, my man. So he goes, cheers, everybody. Here's to you, here's to me. if you don't like you, then fuck me. And then they're about to drink. He goes, and if I die before I wake, then pray the Lord this drink I won't take. And then they almost take a sip. He goes, and before the night ends and the morning begins.
Oh, God. I didn't like the mini.
It went on for 5 minutes. I was like, write it down, the fuck up. These people are ready to drink this shot of Fireball.
And you're just standing there like, this is my personal hell.
The longest cheers.
But no wooing before the cheers.
No.
Post-shot woo?
I thought it was... No, they didn't move post-shot.
What the fuck? I think if you're going to do it...
I thought this dude was doing a bit. Because it seriously had 6 stanzas.
Like,
it had more verses than the original national anthem.
Was he going to drink it? And he was
No.
He was still up there.
He was still up there. And
so
if I died...
That's what my cousin Morris was doing. He was really hammered. He does long toasts. Enjoys the sound of his own voice.
And it...
Unlike the two guys who are on a podcast right now talking to, pretty much to two other people in the room. We do have a guest here today. Shea is here. He will be on the second half of the podcast.
And he made us some drinks. We'll get him to explain the drinks.
We'll get into all that later. I don't usually like this alcohol, but it's working.
It's good. Now that we have some...
We're all a little...
we have some agave.
We're all a little under the weather here.
What are y'all drinking?
We're talking about when he comes on.
Yeah.
Well, you could say we're under the weather. I worked the last 3 days, and last night was the Super Bowl, and Saturday was busy. And we had a beer pong tournament on the deck for some strange reason.
And for some reason, I was tagged in a post about it, but like I'm not really a big beer pong player.
Okay, so someone came up to me. They were like, "Where's Clint? He's supposed to do the beer pong contest." I was like, "What?"
I got there, and somebody was like, "Yeah, weren't you supposed to do this?" I'm like, I literally didn't know about it until someone tagged me in the Facebook post and was like, "Beer pong Clint," and I'm like, "Huh?
What?" So they had like a 12-team.
I mean, I would have been happy to help if I had been asked, but
I don't know the current rules of beer pong or whatever, but apparently the rules they had a 12-team bracket, I think, right?
Right.
And it started at like 9:30, whatever. So the first game they're doing like re-racks or something. I don't know the terminology, whatever. The first match took 30-ish minutes. So you got
God.
Damn.
Because what's a re-rack?
Like when we did it in Bar Olympics.
You only get one re-rack.
In Bar Olympics, you only get one re-rack. In Bar Olympics, we did for like an hour. That night it was raining, and we were there for like
with
an
the
hour.
trash can one?
We finally started moving them closer together because we were just.
But that's fun. That's with the basketball in the trash can.
It's
right?
fun for about 20 minutes, but after an
yeah.
hour, and you had 16 Bud Lights all day.
Right. Yeah.
I don't drink beer. I drink beer when we lived together. We all played Bar Olympics. I started drinking Bud Light about a month out.
4-time champion.
And practicing.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, we don't care.
Of course you don't, because you're a
can you
5-time loser.
turn off his mic, Jamie?
How much Bud Light's in the cup that you have to drink if the other team
Cans.
Oh, like a whole can?
At the Bar Olympics, it's cans for everything. A whole beer for everything. So I'm being usually the heaviest person on the team.
whiz.
I will take the brunt of the beer. I can't drink as fast as everyone can. My boy Shea here can chug a beer like no one I've ever seen. It's like the Man Show. It just goes down his throat. He's got a real loose throat. I'll discuss that later when he comes on. But so I practice to get where I can drink the beer. But I'm usually the slowest person on the team. But I make up for it by being.
Because isn't there flip cup in it too? Is that a part of it?
Yeah. But I just don't drink beer, so I have to practice drinking beer. And then by the time the games come around, I hate Bud Light. I don't drink it again until the following. I drink. Well, I know.
Do you ever drink beer at all? You don't ever drink beer at all.
I drank 4 half of beers yesterday morning when I started cooking.
We
drink a Budweiser with me sometimes.
We drink a Budweiser during the Patreon.
I like a Budweiser during a steak.
Yeah.
Or
it is
chicken
delicious.
wings. 2 reasons for chicken wings. It's utilitarian because you can throw it away when you're done with it, and your cup doesn't have chicken wing grease all over it. But your beer is going in the trash.
Right, yeah.
So then this is done and that's done.
But I've heard that if you don't wipe your mouth properly when you're eating a steak before you take a sip of your beer, it will decarbonate it. Is this true, listeners?
I don't know. Contact us. Let us know at From Behind the
please.
Barcast places.
We need to hear your opinions on whether
Check out our-
steak juice messes up your
Steak juice doesn't
Budweiser.
mess up barely anything for me. I really like steak juice.
Oh, who doesn't?
Yeah. I'll put some in a cocktail one night for us.
A Bloody Mary with steak.
Just have a bone just sticking out of there.
I took a shot of tequila and chased it with the Savannah Bloody Mary mix one time, and it tasted like I just got done chewing on a steak.
Ooh.
It was pretty interesting. So the steak juice in a cocktail doesn't sound that foreign to me.
I mean, Ron Swanson would drink it, right?
I think so.
Lagavulin and steak juice.
So this is something a patron and listener sent in, and there's this bar in Statesboro, and this is pretty amazing.
Is it the Wooden Nickel? That's the only bar I know of the name.
No, it's called Dolan's Barbecue, and I've never heard of the place, but
Dolan's?
Dolan's Barbecue, yeah.
Shout out to Dolan's Barbecue.
So James,
Maybe?
someone left a review. It says, "Done with this place. It's far below average, and I don't understand all the hype. It's more like an entertainment venue that serves concession stand quality food. The barbecue is always cold and always dry. Definitely not a place I'd recommend, and I won't be back. There are 2 other barbecue restaurants in Statesboro that are far better. So,
what font does that accent read in?
I mean, he's in Statesboro. I'm just assuming this is the man's accent.
You should have finished with a woo.
So Dolan's, in retort, they made a post that said, in celebration of James never returning to Dolan's, we created a drink that is sour, salty, and reminiscent of those big dill pickles at the concession stand. Cold, dry barbecue not included. It's called the Pickle Juice and Vodka Cocktail, sour and salty, just like James. I'm like,
that is great.
Because, there's some brands on Twitter that roast the shit out of
Yeah, what's Dick's Last Resort is the place you go to get roasted.
Wendy's.
Whoever runs their Twitter
Whoever
account
runs Wendy's Twitter,
they're the best.
So
they
good.
roast the shit out
National
of people.
Roast Day is great.
Oh, yeah, and they just don't care.
I wish Arby's would do it because they could be like,
Where's the beef?
another roast beef here.
roast beef.
Get it?
Oh.
Look at me. I'm a
Wow.
professional comedian.
That's sweet and salty, too.
What did you do for the Super Bowl? Actually, I saw you late last night.
You saw me twice in 48 hours, and you haven't seen me outside of this room or outside of podcast stuff since the national championship game. I haven't gone out since then.
Oh,
I went
wow.
out for the
I didn't
playoff
realize.
game at IDAC with Brian. No shout out. Not for Brian. Brian, yes. The other one, no. But other than that, I hadn't been out since then, and so I came out Friday. My sister dragged me out.
See, I just see you all the fucking. I see you all the time.
Right.
So.
But when I walked up onto the porch Friday night, and I literally ascended the top step, and we locked eyes through the crowd across the room, 1,000 yards here. I was like, he can feel my presence when
It was
I walk
like I have
place.
a 6th or a 7th sense.
He's like, whoop, he's here. Crap. Move the bar stool real quick.
Well, you never tell me when you're coming out. Oh, and
I
then,
do. I'll text you occasionally. Like, hey, I'm gonna come there. Do you need A, B, or C?
Oh, right. Hey, I'll grab you
Brought
some
you
steak.
5 Guys
Oh, yeah.
and another food that you didn't get to eat.
Oh, and you brought me a Wendy's burger tonight, a Dave single. Thank you.
How was it?
I haven't eaten it yet. I'm waiting till after the show.
I had to stop with the spicy chicken sandwich halfway because I was like, I'm gonna get lethargic with everything else going on. Go back over there. From behind
Production
me.
errors.
I'm trying to get Shea to do TikTok stories, and it's just not working out.
This is something we should have discussed.
So you did spicy chicken sandwich,
spicy drink,
and spicy honey,
and
which will
French
get you.
fries,
Yeah.
And I had some. I just look. I'm
So
not making,
a little
I'm not
lethargic.
making good life choices in the last.
Are you a little lethargic today?
Yeah. So I went out Friday night, got home late as you do, late.
And you played the Fortnite?
No. I went right to sleep night, to night.
What, last night?
Friday night, and then Saturday night I stayed up playing Fortnite with because I slept so damn late Saturday. Stayed up playing Fortnite late, and then yesterday Super Bowl went to my buddy Russ Neely's house. Shout out to Russ, the most generous of all Patreons.
The most generous of all
the
patrons.
king of Patreon.
I think he hit one of the boards at Huckapoo's too. So we had.
$3,000 in boards. He won $3,000.
I wonder how much you put in though.
2,900.
The place that I work, we had I think 6 or 8 boards altogether.
Look,
I was
it's
only
getting
able
out
to
of
get on
control.
one every time I went into work.
You work there. You can't.
That's what I'm saying. These boards are full, and I'd be like, okay, I'll wait for the next board. The only board I could get on was the only payout at the half.
Shout out to Amanda who did a crap load of those things.
Oh yeah.
Well, she took pictures of it and printed it out so she could look at it. But I looked at the piece. It was a full piece of paper, but the picture was only like in the middle. I'm like, I really would have blown that the hell up.
Oh right. Yeah.
But whatever. That was because she could look and see who won while we were at. She was at Russ's
Yeah.
house too. Where Russ, I love you. Get a fucking light. It was so. We walked up. It's pitch black. Like you can see the TV, and there's 2 fires going, and it's so dark. People were like, "Hey, Clint," I'm like, "I can't see you. It's dark out here."
Well, maybe
I
he
came
was-
from the light into the darkness.
Maybe he was setting the ambiance because you turn the lights out in the movie theater if you want to see the movie very well. You know what I mean?
Well, he would have gotten a bigger TV then. There was 2 TVs inside and 1 outside, but he had a loud speaker outside. There was a lot of people there and a lot of food. And,
was there 56 toppings on hot dogs?
no, I didn't even see a single hot dog there. I didn't see a single damn hot dog. And then I got dragged to Tybee after the game. My buddy Brian, I was like, your team lost. I hate it for you.
I didn't even see Brian.
What do you? Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay. Well,
No, I actually don't know what happened to Brian because I got.
did he drop you off?
I was in an SUV with 7 people.
Was it an Uber? Or
Hunter Mullen was in the front seat, and I was like, I'm getting in with you. Either get in my lap or I'm sitting in yours. He was like, what? I was like, or scoot over. And he's like, huh, no, wait, no,
what?
King, no, man, no. And I was like, pushed my way into the car with Hunter. This guy bottomed out coming out of Russ's driveway because we were stacked deep, all guys, one
Jesus.
woman.
Wow.
And so I got to Huckapoo's, and as soon as the car stopped, I jumped out of the vehicle to get unstuck from Hunter Mullen. You kept playing with my wiener, Hunter.
He's a sticky
man,
guy.
that feel good, man.
Hey man, hey, listen, if you're gonna sit on top of me,
All my Huckapoos rides involve
I'm gonna
lap,
at least get
lap
you a
situations
reach
this weekend,
around,
actually. But yeah, so then I just jumped out and went up the stairs, and then I don't know what happened to anyone else that was with me.
So I was gonna say I didn't see Hunter, I didn't see Russ, I didn't see
Russ didn't come.
Ryan.
Russ doesn't drink anymore, so he didn't get in the car. He had a party still at his house, all that stuff to clean up. And
Well, so Sandbar down here on Tybee, they were like nationally recognized for being like
they painted their bar and put a picture of Joe Burrow.
yeah, but
up.
the thing was, they painted the big front windows so much. I mean, it was black and orange or
You couldn't
whatever.
see inside.
I mean, completely black the whole thing out. So like, I mean, it's
so,
not like,
so it was dark there too, huh?
yeah. Well, it's not as if it's someplace you go during the day. It's like the Quarter. You don't go there during the day.
I ended up there Friday night because other people wanted to go
Quarter?
there. The
Yeah.
Sandbar.
Oh, the Sandbar.
Yeah, people thought I was with it. Were worried about getting a cab off the island. We're like, let's go to the other side of the island. I'm like, that's farther from off the island if you know that right. Because I was like, I walked up to you when I was leaving. I was like, I'm leaving. I don't want to go where I'm
Oh
going.
yeah, you're like because yeah, I saw your friends leaving.
I just knew if I stayed at Huckapoos, I would have gotten home 2 hours sooner and been
Yeah.
less hungover on
I've been
Saturday.
playing Fortnite right away, man.
Where I tried to order Popeyes from Grubhub. Don't do that. They don't bring it to you. 3 drivers went to get my Popeyes. 3 drivers didn't bring me my food. Like, they guess they got to Popeyes, and it was just a shit show. I ordered
wow.
at 3:58, and at 5:05, I emailed them, was like, just cancel or messaged them, just cancel the order. I'll go order for somewhere else. The guy's like, no, let me see if I can fix this. He's like, for your problems, here's a $10 credit. I've talked to the driver. Your food will be there in about 20 minutes. At 5:15, restaurant closed, order canceled. Notification comes from my phone to my phone.
So Popeye shut down the restaurant because they were being overrun.
I think they just disabled online ordering from like Grubhub and stuff. You can do that.
Gotcha,
You associate
gotcha.
with that because like it's a shit show getting in and out of that place. Like the One of Victory's always busy.
I was gonna say the one of
So
Victory.
for a driver, you have to get.
Every time I drive by, I think there's a wreck because there's so many cars down the actual
Imagine
street.
being a driver and having to go,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
inside.
yeah.
You're not going to wait in line. And the first woman that got it has delivered food to my house 7 times. So I put money in an envelope, cash, $3 extra.
Yeah.
Thanks for always being a great driver because she never spills my soup. And other people spill my damn soup. And so I put it under the doormat, went about my, my day.
I don't even know if I've ever had the same Uber driver twice, and you've had the same lady 7 times.
I order from the same place.
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
in the top 0.5% of Saigon Bistro orders on the county.
See, I've never done a Grubhub or anything like that because I'm always
Shocked.
yeah, we're,
Did
I'm
they
always
come
on
to
Tybee.
Tybee?
But
That's why I have subscription to Grubhub because I order Saigon Bistro 2 to 3 times a month.
No, I got you. I just never order it, so like I've never had the same Uber driver. But if I did use Grubhub, I'd probably get like
You can go back and look at your orders and see who brought you your food.
okay.
But I just remember her face, and because sometimes I don't want to talk to him and I'll open the door, but like I have to open
Sure.
the door for her and be like, oh, hey, thank you, because if putting down is what spills the soup, I want to stop that too. But
Don't spill
so
my
she
Man
didn't
is
come.
serious about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
She
don't
didn't
play
come.
about that soup.
Then there was no driver. Then she was back on there. Then there was no driver. Then there was another guy, and then the guy that was going to be there in 20 minutes. And I finally ordered Saigon Bistro and just got pho like I should have done in the first place. Old Faithful.
What were you ordering from Popeyes?
8-piece spicy nugget, spicy chicken sandwich, mashed potatoes and gravy, and dirty rice.
I haven't eaten Popeyes in so
But if
long.
you want to add a
Oh,
drink,
God,
it's
it's
$4
so
more
good.
dollars.
Well, every time I drive by, it looks like there's been a car wreck because there's.
I've only
cars-
had that sandwich like 3 times.
Yeah.
Once there, I was going to get food. Speaking of Saigon Bistro, this is a
Yeah.
sort of story here.
Hey,
that
let's get a
So
sponsorship.
I'm on the way
going.
to Saigon Bistro, and I see that the line is short at Popeyes, and I was like, I'm pulling in.
Right,
And I went.
yeah.
And got, I, went
Yeah.
I ate the sandwich then.
You
and
gotta
hit
take
the
your
pho later.
opportunities when they arise. Yeah.
And then any other time I've been not in this county, and it's never a problem.
Well, cheers
So-
to you.
Yeah.
Cheers to me. Cheers to 3. It's Valentine's Day. And if I die before I wake, make sure my penis I shake.
Ooh.
And as we go down the road of life, let's make sure we never get a wife. It stands to reason that.
Fucking Christ!
All right, we'll see
It's
you
a
on
gimmick,
the,
and it's bothering me.
we'll see you on the second.
It's the Karen of the week.
Nice.
It's the Karen
You cracked
of
the
the
beer at
week.
the right time.
You're so tickled with yourself. It's great.
Oh, shit. Welcome back to the second half, and we're starting off with our Karen. So, we have a special guest, Shea, here. What's up?
Yo, get up in that microphone.
From-
Loud.
Yeah, get in there, baby.
From Savannah Bee Honey. But first, let's get these Karens out of the way. So, I don't have any, my Karen and Darren isn't like super spectacular, but it's like an old.
It's kind of a mild week.
Yeah, it's a
Here
mild
on the-
week.
from behind the chill cast.
Yeah, our vibe has been pretty chill already today,
Yeah,
and I wonder if it's
chilling.
because we're all very hungover.
This is the top 3 most hungover we've all been, I think.
So this Karen isn't necessarily a Karen, but it's a Karen-esque thing to do. This is a generality.
That's kind of how my Darren is. It's a general Darren, but it's just one that keeps happening.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. Because
the lessons just aren't learned.
Because this has happened.
Because we can't punch people in the face
multiple times. Oh my God! I hope that was on camera. Because instead of the top popping off,
that.
Wow. We are evolving, baby.
Yeah, Shea's got that touch.
So it's Super Bowl Sunday yesterday. And,
Oh yeah, who won?
Josh Stafford.
Yeah, Josh Stafford, the Lions' ex-quarterback.
And so for the first half of the game, we are crunk ass busy. Probably because of the hot dog bar. Not necessarily because of the game, because here, I mean, we had people rooting for Matt Stafford. But
And then there's a small, most of the Bengals fans went to the Bengals bar.
Yeah, and people go out for the Super Bowl no matter what.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so for the first half, we are crazy busy. And I walk in the back to get an order or something like that, and one of the other bartenders goes, "Hey, has anyone turned in a phone to you?" I'm like, "No, not yet. If they do, I'll let you know."
You check the bathroom.
I walked out to my bar, and I got about 6 people that have showed up in the 10 seconds that I've been gone. And there's this one lady who looks like she's bringing an airplane into an airplane hangar. She's like,
Oh, I love that. I love the way.
I was like, but I noticed that someone had been there when I had left already, so I got to them first. I was like, "Hey, what do you want?" Made their drink. She goes, "Excuse me. I left my phone in the bathroom. I was gone maybe 20 minutes. And I went back in there and it's gone. Has anyone turned in a phone to you?" I was like, "No, ma'am, not yet." But people do.
Yeah, they're looking at your pictures first.
If they find
If
if they find your phone, they'll typically bring it to me. She goes, "I left it in there for less than 20 minutes and it's gone. Where is it?"
That's your fault.
Yeah, exactly. Any time anyone loses anything at the bar,
It's the bartender's fault.
it's the
Not Mike's.
It's the employees' fault.
Immediately
Yeah.
becomes your problem at that point.
Exactly. And it's like I didn't leave my phone in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I've dropped my phone in the toilet before, but I knew where it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
That look too when you do it, you're like, oh no.
You know what's funny too? When I did drop my phone in the toilet one time, my cover picture on it was Russell Brand from the movie where he played.
Get him to the Greek.
Yes. Well, not Get Him to the
Sarah
Greek.
Marshall.
Sarah Marshall.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And when he did African Child, he had a teardrop.
Oh yeah, African Child.
So, in the bottom of the toilet is Russell Brand
Teardrop.
looking
Exactly
at
where
me
he belongs.
with a teardrop for 10 seconds before it fried the phone. I was like,
That was a while ago. When it wasn't a waterproof.
That
phone?
was very
so
long ago.
one of my siblings, I won't mention their name,
The only one.
had a time in their life where they
That was your
they
screensaver?
Yeah.
Russell Brand?
Yeah, it was.
It was. So she went through a point in her life where she went through like 4 or 5 phones in like a year and a half. And the best one was, everybody remembers the Motorola Razr.
That's the one I've dropped in the toilet.
So there's the Razr, and then there was the one that was like a regular phone, but also thin as hell. I can't remember what it was called. The knife, I don't know, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
We were at the Jinx one night, and she dropped it, and it went boop, and went through the cracks in the floor.
What?
Yeah.
That's how.
So
they
it was
don't
just-
call
it's
it a
gone.
razor for nothing.
Yeah, so it's gone. And like I asked Gil, I was like, "Hey, can you find this phone?" He's like, "I can try to get up the floorboard." Well, he ended up sleeping in the bar that night. He said, "One of you assholes kept calling that phone until it died." He said, "There's a 'Cause I'm sure she went home drunk and was like, "Where's my phone?"
I dropped a razor in the toilet, and I remember I was like so drunk when I did it. I was like, crap. And sit there did it, so I picked it up and decided to wash it off. Would be a good idea.
Well, see, the thing was, I dropped it in there before I started peeing.
You put it in rice, so it'll have
Yeah,
an Asian.
the razor you could just put
You
in
put
rice.
it. You put it in
was
rice,
good.
and it'll have an Asian come overnight and fix it for you.
Hey! Damn.
So Karen is landing an airplane. That's it.
Yes.
That was it. She's done.
No. And then just a small Darren.
Did she ever get her phone back?
Here's the best part. Literally, I turn around to make someone else's drink, and her husband, boyfriend, whoever, walks up with it in his hand.
He was going through her phone. he was like, "Who the hell you been texting?"
So then my Darren, a small Darren, and this happens all the time. So we are busy. It's the Super Bowl. There's a lot of tables on the deck, and they're constantly switching out. Half of them are ordering from the bar or whatever, and we only have one person working out there. And this guy came up to. Well, see, the thing was, we had moved.
Oh, because the hot dog bar.
We moved so many tables off the deck. We only needed one person.
Have
out
you ever
there.
been up there for the Super Bowl, Shea? Tuckapoos? You got to get way on the microphone, baby.
I do not recall, to be honest.
Me either.
Well, so it's not.
I don't usually go up there very much.
So the deck.
I do
is-
all the time. I
Yeah,
love
the
it.
deck isn't busy. There's only like 4 tables out there, or whatever. So this guy walks up, and it's going to be a bad situation when the guy goes, "Hey, listen, I own a pub, and we asked the waitress."
Oh,
for
yes. I love that.
He goes, "This is at the. There's like 3 minutes left in the game." He goes, "We asked our waitress for our ticket at halftime." I was like, "You didn't get here at I saw them."
Yeah.
I was like, "You didn't. You
So
got."
he's lying on top of lying.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. So it's either that when they walk up, they go, "Hey, so I own a pub." It's either going to be like, "And I love this place. I'm going to tell everyone about it."
It's one,
Yeah.
it's one way or the other.
Tuckapoos.
Or they're like, "I own a pub, and we need to have an intervention with your."
I'm going to
people
go
here."
on Yelp
Yeah, right.
and write up a review.
I'm gonna write a bad review about the eye doctor who didn't fix my computer if I take it to another person and
they're able to fix it?
But I don't write reviews at all because I'm not a
I
fucking
I
cuck,
do
but-
occasionally, but I only was always exclusively positive.
Positive, yeah. If I
Yeah.
were to write one, it would
Yeah.
be positive.
If
you
I'm
know?
at the restaurant, I have a problem, I'll complain at the restaurant, not
Yeah.
later online like a pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're finally to the point where people think Yelp's kind of a joke. Now,
It's
like you
see-
read it for humor more
Well,
than actually.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
If I'm
a
traveling,
place
I
is
go
good.
when I go to photo restaurants when I travel. I always go to reviews. I go to Google reviews because Google reviews are the worst place for reviews. Which when you go to an Asian to a Vietnamese restaurant, you want someone who's from another country who's not real good with technology to be reviewing the food because then you know it's good shit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I want broken English pho
Little
review.
life hack there.
Yeah, pho life hack for you. But speaking of people that review stuff, Darren came into my restaurant where I work at a place called Circa. And it's 7 o'clock. It's dark outside, but it's not, it's darker in the restaurant, but it's not pitch black dark. But as people over 65 do with their cell phones, he turns on his light on the brightest setting possible, holds his menu up, and proceeds to shine the light on the menu. So not only is it shining across the room when he's moving his hand, so he's like sending frickin' Morse code signals. It's also glaring off the menu because it's in a plastic container to other parts of the room. So he's bothering everyone. I wear glasses. I walk up and immediately put my hand up to like, hey, this is
It's like an asshole with his brights on behind.
yeah, this is a nuisance, and like you're bothering the rest of the room. Doesn't get better from there, as it does. So he asked me the price of everything, every special, and that's usually never a good sign.
never good. How much
Market
is
price for the cheese plate. I go, it's either 18 or 20. It changes sometimes. Well, which one is it? I don't know. It's 18 or 20. Well, okay. How much is the
Go
fish?
with 20.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I said. Well, just say it's 20, and if it's 18, surprise, you save $2. He goes, I need to know, and I'm like, okay. He goes, how much is that fish? I'm like, it's 40 or 41. He's like, which one then? I'm like,
If it was 40 or 60,
yeah. So I stop and go, I'll be right back, and I go do some other stuff, and then go look at the computer, and it's 18, and the fish is 40. I tell him that. You know what he doesn't order?
Either one.
Either fucking one.
I'll take the chicken.
Oh yeah, it's at 41. I'll have the chicken. So if it was 40, if it was 40, you were gonna get the fish. You're like, this dollar back down to damn $26.
41. Are you insane, sir?
This is the same kind of person though, who FaceTimes in a bar. This is just a general Karen or Darren movie. It's actually usually
Yeah.
Karens that do it more than Darrens. If you're FaceTiming in a public place, it's in a nicer restaurant. Headphones. Or go outside. But you don't sit there at the phone at the table and make everybody else in the room listen to your conversation while you loudly talk to somebody.
That happened at Garibaldi's all the time.
All the
It was
time. It happens
the
circle all the
worst.
time. Not as much in the dining room, but
Yeah.
it's like people will be like FaceTiming their baby, and they're like, "Look," and the baby's like, "Wow!" And I'm like, "Hey, you're ruining people's nights. That guy's not going to get laid now because his wife heard girlfriend heard baby screaming."
Actually, there's a guy yesterday for the Super Bowl. He was super nice and whatever, but he had AirPods in, and he had set his phone down on the caddy.
To watch the game.
No. To FaceTime someone, but since he did have the earbud, they weren't like they were the ear pods, not the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's FaceTiming someone, but he wasn't necessarily bothering anyone else. But every time he spoke, I was like, "Oh, do you need some?" Oh, he's
You're talking to somebody.
he's on a FaceTime. Well, so we have our special guest Shea here.
Cheers.
Let's talk about what we're drinking.
Cheers.
Cheers from the
So
hot corner,
cheers
buddy.
to you. Cheers to.
Cheers to I'm going to kick you if you do that.
Cheers, everybody.
Yeah. So tell us what's in this thing here.
This is basically a new version of a spicy margarita. And we have a hot honey that we're doing now with habanero.
And we as Savannah
yes,
Savannah Bee
Savannah
Company.
Bee Company.
Shout out.
Shout out bottle for each of y'all, actually. And Mom,
Scotch bonnet.
You want to throw Vinny's at him?
that's what I was trying to
yeah.
get at. Scotch bonnet
Wildflower.
and
Habanero.
And we're using the oils and a very finely ground powder.
Speaking of finely ground things, don't we have something else?
We do. Let's get to the honey first, and then we'll get back to that.
So
Good try,
ready.
though.
So you
Good
made
try,
the
though.
drinks
So
earlier.
we made the
And
drinks
I
earlier.
didn't get to the hot part of the honey until the bottom of the drink. I was like, hey man, this is very delicious. I took my last sip of the first drink, and it was like napalm.
You got
in
it?
my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
That
it's
sort
it's,
of flavor
it's
came out.
and we're using mezcal with it. And the
Oh yeah,
mezcal,
What kind of mezcal we effing with? And it's not super smoky, or I can't taste it, which I'm
that citrus, I guess, kills the smoke.
which I'm
probably.
happy about. I like smoky.
It's definitely giving me a,
See, I
a
think the
buzz.
balance of the smoke with the heat from that is
It's kinda
where it
offsetting,
comes-
yeah.
Is where that comes in.
So after you started working at the Savannah Bee Company, did it make your cocktail mixing a little more honey centric, or is this?
When I started there, no, but recently, yes, very much so. There's a lot of ideas, like especially the hot honey is becoming kind of trendy.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And
So
we
look, at
have
us.
a-
Look at us on the
well,
on the
we have
cutting
a-
edge here.
We have a really good
This
lock
slaps,
on it too,
as they
'cause
say.
honestly,
Young kids.
our product is very high quality.
Well, I mean,
And put it
especially
in-
here in Savannah, like it's pretty well known outside of Savannah as well.
Oh yeah, there's stores
It
like in New
is.
York and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're looking in Europe now.
Oh wow.
Put
No
it
shit,
that
yeah.
way. Yeah. We're moving to a new facility on the west side.
Where's the honey sourced from?
Right
Like-
across from the Eagles Arena.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is that they did? Are they going to dub it? The Eagles?
Maybe you can go to this. They'll let you go in there. You can stare at it from across the thing and just be like, "Damn
Oh,
it,
I'm gonna be picketing that
Don,
thing.
damn it, Don."
No, for
so
real,
so
though.
when y'all move locations, will the retail store that's there stay open on the Wilmington Island?
I don't know how long it'll stay open, but I know once they sell the building, that's going to be it.
People are mad about that. They're like, "I got to go all the way into town to get my honey." Yes, you have to
Oh,
go
you
all
can't-
the way into town.
Who would even dream of going into town? It's
Well,
My mead.
Too, right?
I mean, I guess when you live on Tybee long enough, though, you get that Tybee-itis where you're like, I'll leave the island for 2 or 3 weeks in the summer sometimes.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So.
When's the last time you left the island?
Yeah, right. That's what I told him last week.
I had to go to Kroger
Christmas
the other day. I
party?
think.
I was going to say the Christmas party for Huckabee.
We'll see.
I
Once
can
we,
tell when I look in your fridge. I'm like,
Why'd you
he's
have
only
to
been
go to
going to
Kroger? What did
IGA.
IGA not have? I thought IGA had everything.
coconut milk, man. Come on, bro.
Of course they don't have coconut milk at IGA on Tybee Island,
You
Georgia.
think our
But who they
country
do have?
has?
Great steaks
you
for a
th-
good price.
That's what I'm saying. So the IGA.
There was a period of time for like every other week I'd go to the IGA before I came over here and pick
Yeah.
up a steak to eat later because I eat lots of
The
steak.
ribeyes are still like $7.99 a pound or something like that.
Let's not tell everybody that
Y'all
actually.
gonna let me hit that honey blunt right there?
Oh
man?
yeah, you gonna get on this?
I'm gonna be
Really?
like Elon Musk and.
You are gonna be like Elon Musk. You're gonna be in fucking space if you hit that blunt. There you go.
Oh.
I'm good.
Oh, I get to pass this. That's good.
Yeah.
I thought it was about to happen.
So
You know, I quit smoking the weed back in.
What do you mean? That's just tobacco. Decriminalize tobacco.
Do you think our stock prices are going to go down because
Yeah.
of us smoking on
Oh
the
man,
air?
yeah. So
They're going up, man.
At least,
They're
they
going
pay
up.
$100.
You're going to have many more investors now.
So since Shea's here, recently there's been a lack of Clint's 5 minutes of comic book sports ball talk.
Oh, it's too bad, man. So, anyways, this
This is the way we're going to do it today. The Mandalorian / Boba Fett, the Mandalorian series continues in Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett. Basically, it's Mandalorian season 2.5 just finished. We are all big fans. Shea, Vinny, and I, Paxton. It's
great.
Star Trek's. Oh my Lord Almighty!
I didn't even get it on camera. I missed it on camera.
Everything just got
there's,
back.
There's no proof. There's no proof.
I am now
Uh-oh.
extremely happy I made it.
Okay. Well, he was like,
Oh,
I got to hear about Star
the
Trek.
exhale.
Oh no, I'm having a panic
You had
attack.
to hear about Star Wars. Is it because of Star Wars or because of that? So, you don't watch any of that? You've never seen the Book of Boba Fett? Do you know anything about it?
Yes, because
5 minutes later.
yeah, I watched a review on it because the only thing I had heard about it was so the guy that played.
I said, do what you know, Boba Fett. He said, yes, I watched a review on it.
I don't want to watch the show. I just want to watch the review.
Because I mean I'm familiar with Star Wars as much as anyone else is.
Did you watch any of The Mandalorian?
No, not at all.
But you know who some people are.
Even though I love Bill Burr,
I got my.
You know what I mean?
I even got my.
But here's the thing. So the guy that's playing Boba Fett now, he was the one that played the.
Still more Mandalorian sock stuff.
He was the one that.
Sorry, Shay.
I'm trying to contribute to your segment here.
Yeah.
And you're,
You're not allowing
Kinda.
it.
So the guy that was like cloned a million times in the Clone Wars, right? That's who's playing the Boba Fett now.
Well, it was his dad, Jango Fett, but yeah.
Okay, so why is Boba Fett, I don't know, 160 pounds in all the Star Wars films, and now the new Boba Fett on the new series weighs like, I don't know, 240?
His dad was the other one, and then it's been like what 40 years.
And
since
when he
then?
escapes the Sarlacc pit with all of his armor on, and then all of a sudden he doesn't have it, and he has to go try and find
The
it.
Jawas took it.
The Jawas
No one
took it.
That was simple.
You should have watched. So we were going to ask you some true
Yeah,
or
I
false
didn't watch
questions.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Like, all of us. The Jawas
so
took it. Like,
I was going to ask you some true or false questions to
Okay.
see if you actually, and you may know some of these, you may know not. Know.
I haven't watched the show, but I have
you have
seen,
watched a review.
I have seen a Star
Okay,
Wars.
true or false? There's a black Wookiee.
Yes.
That's true, I think.
And he's
a
got like,
Mexican-
yeah,
with a
it's true,
Mexican
and
name.
he's got like a little bit of a little bit
Black
of a white
chrysanthemum.
mustache
Buddy,
too.
call him what-
Okay, so you did know about that.
Okay, true or false? Are there Vespa scooters in the series?
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you
So
how you
That's
felt
Robert
about the Mighty
Rodriguez
Morphin
and his
Power
Spy
Ranger.
Kid shit in that.
They look
That's
like
weird.
Power Rangers.
They look like
It was the cheesiest part of the whole show.
Yep.
Oh, so you didn't like something about it?
Rick and Morty had a Power
Look,
Rangers episode.
I'm
for
pretty
season 2.
open about how I loved it, but also it wasn't near as good as I thought it was going to be, and it felt a little clunky at times. But it was a good story. Introduced a lot of new characters.
And the best episodes were The Mandalorian.
Best episodes were just the Mandalorian tooling around with Grogu.
So wasn't
Yeah.
Boba Fett
Who's
not
Grogu?
in?
Do you know who Grogu is?
Grogu? Is he the guy that flies around in the with the wings on?
False.
Are you talking about Falcon?
I'm good. I gotta drive. Think of that.
That's
No, you know the thing that flew around in the Clone Wars or whatever the first Star Wars films
Spaceships?
were. No. He's got the little wings, and he's like. They blamed him for being like a Jewish character. He's like, I won't tell you this. I won't tell you this.
the guy that owned
story."
Anakin, the guy that owned Anakin and his mom.
Yeah.
What is his
Is that
name?
not the Grogan?
Grogu? No. You say it right.
You said, is that not the group?
You just combine Grogu with Joe Rogan somehow. Shout out to Joe Rogan. Thanks for listening. Grogu is Baby Yoda. And they didn't tell you his
child.
name until the child. They didn't tell you his name until season 2. People were like, Grogu? Pfft, no. Baby Yoda. Like the majority of people refuse to call him that.
Goku looked
And they
up
even
and said-
acknowledged it in the last episode of the season. Amy
When did they
Sedaris-
release his name was
in
Grogan?
season 2, halfway
With
through.
Ahsoka. She
Ahsoka-
said
with
his
Ahsoka.
name is Grogu.
Because she could read his thoughts.
It's like, how do you know that?
So
He told me.
Cool little fact there though. So Brandon Davis, who runs comicbook.com, he got he gets all this cool crap from people because they want him to display on his podcast or whatever. He got a Baby Yoda doll, and it was animatronic. It would move, and when he got it in season 1, and in season 2, when they said his name, he said Grogu out loud, and that thing went whack. They had pre-programmed this thing to respond to the name.
If anyone said Grogan,
Because it's not a word you're going to accidentally say, I'm good. I'm not going to accidentally say Grogu by it,
yeah, but you could accidentally say
Grogan.
Josh Groban.
Josh
And all of a
Groban.
sudden, Baby Yoda starts
Start
singing.
singing Josh Groban.
I'm from the Jedi Force. Hey.
He doesn't talk. He doesn't talk.
Oh, does it
Talk
even
he
make?
doesn't.
Does it even make noises like Groot?
Yeah, he coos.
baby noise.
He coos.
Okay.
He's,
taps.
but he's like 55 years old.
Yeah.
And he's a baby.
Because
He eats frogs.
He eats frogs and
because
stuff.
the Yodas live to be thousands of years old.
Like Yoda was like 900 something years old.
800.
And then Luke pestered him to death and he just killed himself. He just faded away. He was like, I can't do this anymore. This guy's asking me too many stupid questions.
Well, Dave Chappelle covered it really well that Yoda was probably a pedophile.
Yeah, you ever heard that before? It's pretty
I'm
funny.
glad it's all coming out here on the Mandalorian podcast.
Yo, the 5 minutes
From
is
behind the
just
Book of Boba
way
Fett.
gone.
We've got all right. So give me like at least one or two more true or false questions since we're in it. I mean, I just want to contribute.
You want to be a part of this
I just
now?
wanna
I
contribute
think you're
somehow.
feeling it. When we leave, you're
What
going
was the Mighty Morphin?
Yeah, you got your question, Vinny?
No, I
He
don't have
answered
a
it
question.
before I even
This
asked it.
this is off the cuff.
We talked about this the other day. I told you I was going to ask him. Anyway, so
So you like the Vespas in there,
yeah,
but they
that
were
was
like
great.
floating Vespas.
true or false? Thundercat, the musician, was in the show and was a surgeon.
True.
Somehow.
Why wouldn't Thundercat?
He
be
had
in
like
there?
a.
Did they have to
animatronic
like
arm.
block out his tattoos or something? 'Cause doesn't he have a pretty tatted up face?
Look, I'm not real familiar with Thundercat.
Why are you asking me these questions?
Because you look like the
If
kind of
you
guy.
don't-
You look like the kind of guy that knows about Thundercat.
I love
How's
Thundercat.
Thundercat?
That's the black dude that was like the surgeon on the. on her stomach.
He's a musician first before.
Musician first. Yeah, he's a
That'd be
producer.
like.
I remember the character.
Yeah, sorry.
Doesn't mean none of
Who's
his
Bill
other
Burr?
characters.
Oh, he's that guy that shoots guns.
He
in
was
The
also
Mandalorian.
Bill Burr. Also, there you go.
He
So
was that really bad guy. in
for
Breaking
those of you
Bad.
that stayed tuned in through all that, cheers and thank you. Welcome to the We're Stoned It's Boba Fett cast.
Hey.
I just
It
barely
did
escaped
liven
that
the place
Sarlacc
up a little bit, though, because it was a little morose in here earlier. And we got done with that first segment. We were like, we were sitting outside. I'm laid up on the couch. This has been a much more. Little
Oh,
vibe to
from
it.
behind the chill cast.
Maybe Star
man.
Wars brought up.
So let's get to Honey though, because something interesting. What's that? Clay is the owner. What's his name?
Ted.
Ted. Yeah,
Dinner.
that's right. So Ted
Grogan is
and
the owner.
Ted Grogan.
Ted Grogan.
So he rented a spot right across the street from here.
Okay.
Not long ago, and I had a swarm of bees hanging up in a tree right here, and it was like.
And he probably went and talked to him, and they just all moved.
Well, no, he walked up. I was like, hey, funny that Ted just moved across the street, and I can ask him whether I should be walking outside and should I feel like I'm in danger of being
Are
stung
you allergic to
death.
bees?
I don't know if I'm allergic to bees, but I'm definitely
They're
allergic
not real
to ants.
mean.
No, I know, but see, what he told me was they just followed the queen here.
Yeah.
You could walk up to
They're
them.
very docile.
Yeah, grab the queen, and they'll just stick around the queen until whatever process is over. But outside of that, they would sting you because they're protecting the nest. But they were on the move. Is that like
Yeah, no, that's
when they migrate? Do they?
exactly what they do. I mean,
So they're not when they migrate. They're not like all angry trying to sting people. They're just like, no, we're hanging around the queen.
No, that's
Yeah,
exactly all they're doing. All they're ever doing is protecting the queen. And like you said, they won't. They're afraid of dark color. So if you're wearing like a black shirt, that's why beekeepers always wear white.
yeah,
They
I
look
didn't
at-
know that. I thought they were
look-
just flexing.
Well, the dark shirt, like Vinny's jacket right there, Vincenzo.
It's brown. I'm not on camera.
Over here is black, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
black,
it looks like a swarm to them, so they get aggressive and they try to protect.
It's not as if they're differentiating colors because I would say they're probably only seeing like
yeah,
black
they're not
and gray.
racist.
You know where the bees are racist? Somewhere. I don't know.
Statesboro.
I had a
Gotta be a
joke.
thing.
Yeah.
in a galaxy far, far away. It's racist
So if
bees.
they see a dark mass of something,
Yeah, they
they're like,
just
that must be another swarm.
So wait.
and so they get protected.
I don't know if I want to ask this question or not, but I'm going to have to ask this question. Are there black beekeepers?
Yes.
Well, I guess you had the white suit on, so you can't tell.
No, but yes. Honestly, and just to bring up Ted again, big shout out to Ted Dinner. Like, he's a really good dude. He brought bees down to Jamaica. There wasn't a thing down there. Now they have jobs, they have careers.
He brought hives down there or boxes down there,
He
or
brought all
just the.
that.
He just
You
grabbed
brought-
the queen
no.
and got on the plane.
Basically,
Yeah.
that's exactly how you do
the
it.
Swarm followed.
yeah. Right behind
You
the
can like
plane.
order
Yeah.
a queen online and shit. And it comes in a little box.
Well, so
Like,
what if bees aren't indigenous to a certain area? Because obviously, if he brought them down there, they didn't already exist down there. Can they survive in that local
they're-
ecosystem?
Yeah, there's a whole documentary that he did. That's God, I can't remember.
Is you
what
making
it's
me
on,
buzz?
But like one of the guys that's interviewed, he was like, I had no job before, and now I'm a beekeeper. Like he now has a career.
Look at that.
He now has a
I just
life.
said no because you think about like invasive species, like the.
But bees aren't invasive. Bees help. Bees
They
help
No,
the
understood,
environment around them.
but
They
if
just
they're
literally
not
help
from
the
that,
environment,
if they're
yeah.
not from that ecology, I'm sure there's got to be some sort of net effect on the things around it.
Maybe, but they look. I
don't
can't
know.
imagine it's too
No,
bad
I
though.
see what you're saying.
We need
but
more
yeah,
bees, not less bees. Paxton.
But all they
Have
do
you
is
seen that
collect.
Black Mirror episode about the bees?
I've only seen two black
what?
mirrors.
Look,
All right.
I'm not afraid of bees, but like stuff like that, I'm like, I don't know. Wasps are the ones. Wasps are assholes. Waspus are assholes.
Dude,
Watch out for
That's
waspus.
one of the things the bees will do. They'll be protecting the queen. If a waspus comes into the hive, they're hovering around the queen. They'll flap their wings even harder to create more heat. To
Yeah.
fry the freaking.
They
wasp.
get it like 1.2 degrees hotter than the wasp can take, and
And
it
the wasp
dies.
fries.
Really?
And they
And it-
fry the
right
wasp.
there
They
in
circle
mid-motion,
around it.
yeah.
And is that from the mechanical
heat?
friction?
So some of them die, but
They just start flapping their wings.
some of them
harder to
overheat and
create
die.
more heat.
What is
Okay.
mechanical friction?
some of them.
like a,
You know
them
you know
rubbing
what
themselves
mechanical
with-
friction is. Don't even
fucking
start.
with you, I'm sorry.
We're talking about you.
But yeah,
Come
like a
on.
bunch of them die in the process of doing it. 'Cause they get it's like 36.1 degrees is like the limit, and
Jump
then
in and bag of
36.5
sex
the
toys right
wasp is
there.
like ah.
They're
The
like-
bees also die.
kamikaze, and they're like, hey,
Kamikaze,
we're
yeah.
just going to heat it up, and
Yeah.
if some of us
They're,
die,
they're going down for her.
Viva la Queen.
Protect the
Yeah.
president. Protect the president.
That's exactly how they do it, though. That's funny.
So
Get on that thing.
through the process
Get on that thing.
of beekeeper to production to
God, it's good every time.
to manufacturing, the chain. So you get the raw material out of the honeycombs, say in Jamaica, like say from there. How much do they distill it down before they ship it to be processed finally, or do they do all the processing down there?
I'm not sure about that one. We get a shitload of our bulk from Spain, and they're actually just locking in deals to where they're kind of it's them specifically. But we get like 55.
They only sell to Savannah Bee.
We get 55 gallon drums at a time, and you can only do 64 on a truck because of weight.
Okay.
How heavy
Honey
it
is so dense, yeah.
and that's a lot of people think it's local, but it's a local business.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, because it's such a big business now.
You couldn't
like,
source that much honey from here.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
That's
you'd
exactly
have
what I'm
Savannah would
getting
have
at.
to be covered in bees.
Savannah would be would just be bees.
But I mean, again, another shout out to Ted. Like he started off with a friend's backyard with a hive on Oatland Island.
See, Ryan Bentley, you can do it one day. Probably not.
So for a 55-gallon drum of honey, how much, like say, acreage of space would you need to house the boxes and the
At
bees?
least 56 gallons of space.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know, like per box or how
I
much.
can't remember an average number, but normally bees live about 3-4 weeks, and
didn't realize that.
they only produce about a tablespoon of honey in their lifespan.
Throughout that 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I was gonna say because it's like maple syrup.
That's
you
why
gotta
they're
have
so
like,
busy, Paxton.
hey, to make maple syrup, you got to have like 10,000 gallons of the
raw product?
of the raw to
Yeah.
get a bottle
Yeah,
of the actual syrup. So I was just wondering what the disparity was between giant acre of bees. You get 5 bottles out of it.
I really wish I could answer that question.
I would love. Very
I was
in-depth
just
question.
thinking, like, you were asking him some hard ass
I was like, is this a test?
Like, you know we just smoked a blunt. Like, you were getting
He's
so
like, so per ounce.
So you know what else
I need
Shea does?
Can I get
Bartend.
it? Can I,
Good with
that,
bartend.
though.
can I get?
I can
Can I
get
get
them
domestic
answers.
and the queens?
All right, so
I'm
why
just
is
thinking about
honey
how
sweet?
Big the spot, well, I'm talking about back in Spain.
What's-
like, how big does that have
Can
to
you
be
draw the
now?
chemical
You know
symbol
what
for
I mean?
honey?
Because you have only so much space to put however many bees
Yeah.
in any amount of space.
And it's a
How much of that
specific flower,
sweet
we
honey
get
right back to
you
it.
get out of it?
Shitload of one specific flower, which means it has to be a huge area.
So there is wildflower.
Probably
honey.
more than I can. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm thinking.
What's
too
your
small,
favorite
is all
kind of
I'm
honey,
saying.
Shay?
Tupelo.
And is it because it's from Tupelo, Mississippi, or?
Tupelo
No.
honey by Jim.
Tupelo plant, but yes.
Oh, I didn't know there was a plant.
That's what
tree.
that's-
It's the other tree that's in the swamp.
So they-
Cypress and Tupelo.
Okay, got you. So they get their pollen or whatever exclusively from those.
And it's actually only a
Great
flower
Van
for only like
Morrison
3
song.
weeks out of the year.
Oh, so it's pretty rare and high end. Is it like,
Ish, but yeah, rare-ish. Yeah.
Like that honey we brought on that one time that was like.
That was Tupelo
that
Reserve.
was Tupelo
Yeah.
Reserve? Okay.
Yeah.
What
I still
makes it-
have like
That
this
was
much
the
of both
high-end,
the bottles.
high-end.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't get
that
rid
was,
of it.
Yeah.
What makes it reserve? Is it a certain
Because
place
it's
that it-
just so much prettier and so much tastier.
It's like I think you told me it's a certain like the reserve is only made like in that 3-week period. It's like 4 to 5 days. You take the best days, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, no, you just pick out the best barrels as you get.
So it's like when you're like making wine,
Absolutely.
you have your reserves,
Yeah,
Sure.
and you have your middle line, and then you have
Yeah,
your.
because see, I didn't
And you
figure
have
out.
these barrels here that
Yeah.
and you're tasting them all, and you're like, no, those are the ones. And
Oh, yeah.
basically the same
I've
exact.
done barrel
they
tastings
won't-
before.
So
That's-
they
that's
won't do
fun.
a mix because like
honey won't get you drunk, but wine
we
will.
can. We do a bunch of mixes.
No, I know, but for that reserve stuff, you're like you pick a specific barrel or two, and you're like, all right, this is. Is there any like chemical testing that you do?
Is there like a bee sommelier?
Yeah, every time we get it in, we have to send it off. We'd use a place in Germany. It's apparently the oldest testing facility for.
And what do they
shit in the
test for?
world.
Like a sugar amount or?
No, because we can test that. Just like chemicals, bacteria.
Oh, impurities or things that could
Exactly.
make people sick.
Because honey's supposed to
Yeah,
be pure.
yeah, exactly.
You want
So
that-
it has to be below. There's certain standards that has to be below.
Sure, yeah.
stuff like that.
But honey, if kept well,
Dude, it lasts forever.
Forever.
Doesn't matter.
pretty
they found
much
honey.
forever.
They found honey
yeah.
in Egyptian tombs.
Doesn't even have to. Yeah, I'm about to say it doesn't even have to be kept.
Somebody
well.
accidentally
You
ate it in the
just
break room.
Warm it up after that, and it melts it down. and
Terrible
you're
would
done.
that be?
So I go to Savannah
Was
Bee.
it in a little bear when they found it?
Probably a cat.
Egyptian tomb?
Probably a cat. Yeah, just a little squeeze top.
It was a clay bear. It was a clay bear with a
The
squeeze
first bong
top.
I ever smoked out of was a honey bear bong.
In the Egyptian tomb.
Back when you were smoking through tinfoil.
Coke can bowl.
I'm dude, Coke can bowl. All
Coke can
right, what,
bowl.
like, look. No, so Shea and I worked together at Garibaldi's. We've worked together a bunch. We've known each other forever. I was the best man in Shea's first wedding and probably third.
He's in first. He always says first.
And so we've lived
Only.
together. I've lived with him more than I've lived with anybody besides my family. So we've been good friends for a long time. We have smoked weed out of some of the weirdest things together. The fingerling potato at Garibaldi's.
Fingerling
potato.
Dude,
I like that's
You
that's-
take-
yeah.
it's a new bowl every day.
perfect.
Here's the
It's a
thing.
new bowl
If
every
somebody
day,
walks
dude.
up, you can throw it. It's a fucking potato.
It's called weed frites.
And then the next day is
So,
rotten, so
yeah,
you just go get
yeah.
a new one and just make a new one.
So you
Like,
take, we
every
would
day
take
you
the
have a new bowl.
espresso, the frother for the cappuccino machine
Oh
was a perfect metal cylinder. You take that and core it out, and then just take a knife and carve out the top. Boom, bowl.
You're-
Because
You know,
of that,
Clint was
your
super
cappuccinos had a
precise
little.
making his potato bowl too. Like he was like, I got
Oh,
this.
dude, Charlie would laugh his ass off because I'd always go get the ticket stabber.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
I mean,
ticket stabber works.
He'd look at me and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you think?"
We used to do.
Sitting there making
Charlie
a bowl,
going to the
and
bathroom,
then
you'd be like,
Charlie's
"Hey,
like
Charlie,
leaving
what
a
are you
trail
doing?"
coming
Hey,
from
hey,
the
I'm making potatoes right now, man.
we worked that restaurant for
leaving a salt trail.
2.5
going
years,
from the
maybe.
bar to the
So at one time, the restaurant, it was
bathroom.
me, you, Richard, Justin, and Chris Sweet. We had of our close friends.
We had a crew.
We had.
yeah.
I got the. I was working there first, and I was
Good
like,
crew.
"Come on, people, let's fill this boat up. There's money over here."
That was
And
probably
we
the
were
best
killing-
crew I've ever
That was
worked
the
with,
best.
to be
When
honest with
Patrick
you,
was
man.
still there and Tess
Seriously.
was still there. That was the best restaurant crew I've ever worked with. Who've all both those two have gone on to manage restaurants.
Where was it?
Every night
At
it was like,
Garibaldi's.
dude, who's gonna sell at least this much? Oh, me,
The-
me. No, man, screw you.
Me and Shea
screw
made
you.
tons
You
of
know
money
what I
there.
mean? And we just every night.
The chef used
would
to
go
bet
at
the
it.
other line cooks on like a busy night. He's like, Clint and Shea got 4 tin tops. How many of those venti platters are they going to sell? And he'd be like, "Look, man, you
All
got
of them.
to sell 8 ventis tonight." I'm like, "Well, he's like, I got a $100 bet." I'm like, "What? Do you, okay, that's a little more pressure." He's like, "You will."
But see,
the
that's-
venti platter was $90.
Add lobster tail.
Table sat down, and I'm like, "Hey, you want to get some venti platters going real quick? Some seafood?" And they're like, "Yep." If they got an expense account, they don't care. I mean, we sold.
and then add $14 lobster tails.
Yeah.
But that's a fun incentive when
sell
you're
a
at
wine.
work to be like, hey,
Thing is, other people
I
in the
did the
restaurant are
G-spot
selling
for
like
3
one,
years. I did
maybe a
it for
night,
3
and I would
years.
sell 5, 6. We would just we made
it's
a
like
killing.
fantasy football. You don't care about the team. You're like, I
Yeah.
don't care about this dish necessarily, but
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
going to sell
I want
more
some
than this
money.
other dude.
I want some money, but there's some times there. Man, there's some times there.
Well,
You remember
okay,
Operation Apalachicola? You think we could talk about that?
Which one was that? Cola?
When we would open up the oysters upstairs, we called it was me, Richard, and Justin, and you. So we'd all change out. So we call it Operation Apalachicola. Sorry, Garibaldi's. I would stay in the back in the cooler. The oysters were upstairs. The whole cooler was upstairs. So the oysters were in there.
Third floor.
So one person would stand out in the dining room so they could see someone's coming up the stairs. The elevator was a freight elevator, so you had to call it. And you close the door, and it's probably still
So
that
scary,
You-
too.
Yeah, it's like an
It's
old
like
school elevator. You
spooky.
close
It's
it.
like-
You
It's
pull,
like it's like a 100
you pull the wooden thing down. You close
And-
it, but like yourself. You
Still
pull the
like
wooden
that,
thing
too.
down.
Yeah, you
You have to like shut 2
And-
doors to do it,
yeah.
and if they're not perfectly shut, like it won't move, and then you get stuck.
Oh, is it like the doors that come from the bottom and the
Yeah,
top?
Yes, you
Yeah,
squeeze
yeah,
them
yeah.
together.
You gotta
It's
jerk
like
the handle
wooden-
to make
you
it
have,
work,
like,
right?
The wooden one first,
Then
and
you
then
Yeah.
the metal one.
What is
Yeah.
this, Victorian
You're like,
England?
I'm in a
Yes.
death box. I am in
And
a
so
death
one
box
person would
right
stand
now.
there, and you could see down the shaft that was starting to move. So you could like
Old
watch.
ladies
So
get stuck in there all
get
the
3
time.
oysters out. I'd crack them with a damn steak knife. We'd lay them out, crackers, hot sauce, cocktail sauce, and we're like, all right, we want to eat it, and we'd switch out, or we could come real quick, and then we'd bury the oyster shells at the bottom of the trash can. Operation Apalachicola.
remember walking through with the white.
In the summers there, in August and September, or July, August, it was not busy at all back in the day. Like you'd wait on 10 people on a Saturday night.
But
Vinny's
now
also
you
went there,
say
too.
the fine dining
Yeah.
thing is more busy during those times of year.
It's busy almost all year now. It's great.
Like,
But
in
we
July,
still have
you had,
bad
like,
times.
You walk in with like 3 on the books.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, I
sometimes.
worked at 45 Bistro one time, and no one came in. A whole shift, no one came in. We slowly just cut people. It was just me and the chef at the end of the night. At like 8:30, we were like, we're going to close. No one's coming in.
I've never experienced that.
But Garibaldi's, we had time on our hands. We threw bread up in the damn air conditioning vent. I think I've told you this story before.
This one's great.
All right, look, this is probably the most fucked up things I ever did. I don't know if we should tell this story. So this guy Sean invented this.
Yeah, screw it.
Okay, not me,
All right.
not me at all. Invented this, and there was a vent. I'm
Yeah,
talking
like,
probably
imagine
where
an air
your
conditioning vent
skylight
right
is.
there.
Okay,
Right.
so it's
But no
25
vent,
feet off the
so
ground.
It's just a hole in the ceiling.
There's the hole. So we would. This one guy, Sean, nobody else would take the sourdough bread they had there, it was nice and salty. They got rosemary on it, and chuck them and try to get them into the hole.
just to see if we could get him in there.
Yeah, so you do that for a while,
so it
right?
became a game, and we did that
Of
for
course,
quite
as
a
you do.
while.
So
all
for
right?
about a few months, it happens. About a year later, I walk in there, and the manager, my boy Chrissy, shout out Chrissy, is sitting at the bar, and he goes, well, and turns to me, and I'm like, what up, man? He's like, ever played a game here at Garibaldi's called Throw Bread into the Air Conditioning Bit? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, the air conditioner started working, so I opened up the panel. And in the scoop bottom part where it like rested was a giant chunk of moldy bread that had been there for like a year. It clogged up. There was so much bread that it molded.
So someone was really good at the game.
The whole air duct.
That one guy was good
It
at the
was
game.
going through the whole building.
he
They
get
couldn't
written up?
figure it out.
He didn't work there
conditioner
anymore.
The air conditioner
only time I
company
ever
had to
worked with
come
Clint, seeing him
find
get
it and
rid
be
of
like,
it was the
this is
weirdest
what's
thing ever.
wrong.
So what?
He didn't work there anymore.
Around what
we were
year?
all gone.
Around what year was that?
2007 and 2000. When did the market crash? 2011.
Well, I moved in 8,
2008.
so it was probably
Yeah,
like 9 or
because
10.
So 2000.
because they did a story in the Savannah Morning News about people getting mold poisoning from Garibaldi, right?
Been
about
over
that
10 years.
time.
We're good. Look at the mold poisoning laws
Like,
here.
this is weird. It's not black mold. It's sourdough mold.
Sour mold. It's kind of yeasty, you know.
Y'all were talking about the circle game earlier. Clint King, I witnessed this at Roost Chris.
I got
when we
written
worked
up.
together. He got written up for this
'Cause
But it
everybody was
like-
playing.
But like, it is a Saturday night at Roost Chris with like 350 on the books. Like we're slammed. Like everybody's just getting crazy. And like they have a big server area in there. In the server area, everybody congregates. There's probably 25 people in the server area. Busboys, SAs.
It's huge. Roost Chris back of the house
bartenders.
is huge.
I'm in there, and then all of a sudden, Clint throws a plate on the ground and busts it, and everybody stops, turns and looks, and Clint is on the ground with the circle figure.
I got the whole room,
And he's
baby.
like,
I got
"Fuck
the
you."
whole room.
I got all y'all.
I got everybody.
And the manager was there. The GM was there. She's like, Clint, I know you know you're getting rid.
We had a meeting about
yeah,
circle.
like,
So I was like, worth it. We had a
That's so
meeting
worth
2 weeks later. She was like, she had me and like 2 of the guys. She goes, look, I know y'all are kind of the ringleaders of this circle game thing. And I was like, but she goes, look, I appreciate that it brings you guys together and it's fun. We need to change some things. I was like, look, I've got rules. Not in the dining room. Not in the dining room.
I don't need to change anything. I already set these.
No,
I
when we
said
live
that's why I
together,
said I busted all
we're
the
not
rules.
allowed to play it within the
Well,
within
imagine
walls.
sitting Clint down and trying to discipline
circle
him.
game
Like,
So,
inside the house.
what?
so,
No.
but
I agree.
what had happened is what caused this is we decided one day if you could throw something through the hole, you got to kick them like 10 times or something stupid. So we're in the back standing there like throwing circles and trying to throw Demi-Tasse spoons, which are little espresso spoons, through people's hands across the room. So there's spoons
Oh,
going
the
everywhere.
game's evolving.
And she was like, look, stop. It was better than the ball showing game at least. You know, we did that for a while too.
Oh, we did that, Garibaldi.
I got Steven, the beverage manager at Roost Chris with the bat wing. I did the bat signal. You put a
That's
flashlight
just-
behind
that's
it.
just weird.
Well,
The
see,
bat
when-
signal, I invented my own move.
When you muscle toved the plate onto the ground
Yeah.
to break it and then got him
Yeah.
with the, okay,
Yeah.
if I were the GM,
That's not my
That
best
was the
one.
day we became friends.
That's-
Like,
how
it
do you
really
write it?
was.
Yeah,
Like,
how do you
I-
write 'em up for
I
that,
knew
man?
Clint for like
That is
3
not my.
months when
That is my
happened.
second best one, I
Like,
think. Garibaldi's. I don't know if you were in the room. I come up the steps. We carried trays up and downstairs running. We got real good at it. So you can balance. I can balance tray very well. It's got like 3 plates on it. I kick the second to top step and lay on the ground with the trays and get every server and like 2 customers are like, and this guy's like, hit me. And I'm like, no, he's like, you got to get me. I'm going to tell on you if you don't punch me. I just drilled this dude. And he was like, ah. And I was like,
an employee or a customer?
customer, I got the employees in the back. There was no hitting in the dining room. You got to go do it in the back.
Well, I'm saying if I'd have seen you smash the plate and then get everyone, if I was the GM, I'd be like,
There's no way I'd write you up. for
I'm
that.
writing you up. No, I'd give
write
you
you up for a
I'd give you the
commendation.
slow clap
Like, I loved
first.
it because Roost Chris, you're supposed to be the best of the best
Yeah.
service
Yeah,
possible. But
Yeah,
we're
but
like
if you don't have a
doing
place to break
all the fuckery in
if
the
you
background,
if you don't
like,
have a
oh,
if you don't have a place to break the tension, you know.
Yeah.
So at Huckapoo's,
So the back of a restaurant when it's closed off,
we
like
weren't
that
allowed to
is,
say no.
it's such a nice thing
Oh,
because you
wow.
can make noise. I work where I work now. I don't have a service station. It's right where the bathrooms are. I can't go talk trash about anybody anywhere. You
Yeah.
got to just do it real quiet, like, hey man, Darren.
yeah. We had a
I gotta walk
well,
out
we
to
still
that
have a fun game at Huckapoo's, and we call it getting.
few.
It's called getting Dougied, and it all stems from a guy. I think his name was Doug.
Sounds okay. I like where the story's going.
I'm intrigued.
One of our lady bartenders was standing with her hand placed upon a table or whatever, and he walks up and puts his crotch onto her hand.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, oh, so she's like, hey man, sorry, I'm drunk, whatever. So she told us the story. So now, the game is to get someone else to touch your penis
Okay.
with their hand. So I get Mike Henderson out, Tragic Dyke Mike, all the time
He seems like he'd be an easy target.
because he stands. If he's standing and his arms are down, his hands aren't in, his hands are out.
Okay.
So I can walk up and get the perfect cup onto my
Drop it right on there?
onto my wedding vegetables. So we're playing the game for a while. I'm the best at it, obviously. It's just, it's too
sometimes,
easy.
Hey, sometimes you got to be the best at the game.
You got to be the best.
I got a statue for mine.
Here's to you.
Here's to me.
So my finest moment, I called it the double Doug Rudder. I caught two employees giving each other like not a handshake, but a low five. Like they were like congratulatory about something. And I just happened to walk in.
And got it in there?
Their hands were at crotch level, both of them, and both of them got at least a half a rub on each of my testicles. I was like, double Doug Rudder, that'll never happen again. Call it.
Hey, you got to like. That's one of the parts of the restaurant people don't know. Like, there's a lot of fun happening in the back, or there's a lot of anger. You got to keep it light, or there's people are going to
choose one. You can harbor your
fight.
anger in the back and be pissed about what's happening out there, or you can touch each other's dicks and it.
Like Garibaldi, for a while, we were at war with the kitchen for like the last year I was there.
It's
and
always
like, a bunch of crap happened and went down. But like, we'd stay upstairs and talk trash, and then downstairs it was kind of.
That's a natural war, though. Front of house versus back of house all the time.
Yeah. Oh, it got bad.
Right near
It's like-
high school.
Yeah, somebody tried to stab us one time. Remember?
Ooh, really?
I
It's
wasn't
always the
gonna
worst
call his name out on the
when,
air,
like,
but
the people
he doesn't live in his
overtly
country anymore.
complain so much.
See, I'd rather people be like, "This lady sucks."
He listens, I think.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I think
What that?
nothing.
Sorry.
I'll tell you, I nothing.
You know what? I need to.
Someone tried to stab us at the restaurant.
I need to refresh my drink, so we'll take one more little break and we'll be back.
We'll take another stab at it.
And welcome back to From Behind the Couch Cast.
Yeah.
Blunt cast.
Hey, the blunt cast.
Hey,
cheers to
cheers,
you.
video, I guess.
Cheers to me.
No more, man. Those vibes aren't happening there. So we got into some heavy restaurant talk there.
We were on the break and we got deep into some restaurants.
People that got deep into.
But first,
We definitely need to shout out my boy Grant.
he almost forgot
I almost
again.
forgot. Grant, I'll hold up my sign for you. I know you're not watching, but I'm holding a piece of paper up with your name on it written poorly in my crappy ass handwriting.
It's like you're at the airport waiting to give him a ride.
I'm here to pick you up, Grant. Grant, the Barcast ambassador of New Orleans, Patreon donor that doesn't watch the Patreon because it doesn't know how to work it.
I had someone
we
the
love
other
you,
night,
Kinda
like,
how I roll with it.
they were like,
Grant
hey,
and Shea go way back. Shea has Grant Nelson artwork in his house.
oh,
He's
word,
painted
yeah,
5
yeah.
foot by 4
Yeah,
foot.
he got a 5 foot by 4 foot painting.
Oh, wow,
Beautiful
that
painting.
is
Yeah.
substantial.
Amazing.
He does
painting.
like musicians and like a jazzy, like kind of thin,
Yeah.
blocky look. When Jazz first opened, it was wall to wall.
It was on the wall at Jazz, and I
He
grabbed
used
him.
to
I was
own
like, I have
1800
to
I
have
know
that.
That's awesome.
He used to own 1800
That's
Gallery.
So cool. Yeah.
Him and Brian McGregor and somebody else used to own 1800 Gallery. Brian McGregor's a weird motherfucker. Weird. He goes to Thailand every year for 2 weeks. That's weird, dude. There's other
Yeah.
places in the world.
That's
He walks around.
creepy.
He used to walk around barefoot downtown. And his art was he would wake up and he would write his dreams down and he would paint over his dreams.
Well, he always put himself in his art too, and it's
Yeah.
always him making out with some incredibly hot girl, like,
It's-
way out of his
You
league.
wear full linen.
Yeah. Rolled up.
rolled up all day. Yeah.
Dirty
Of
ass
course he
grocery,
did.
dirty ass
Glasses,
grocery store
little
feet.
curly hair, and just.
But anyways,
yeah.
Grant, great guy. Yeah, he used to when he owned 1800 Gallery and he had a spot in City Market right there. And so I wouldn't be at Garibaldi's and not busy because it's slow sometime. And I'd walk over to the studio because it's right across the street and go up there and maybe smoke some weed or something. I don't know. We'll see. And just
Never
go hang
done
out
that.
with Grant. And then like I could see the restaurant from there, so I could kind of, all right, oh, someone's coming in.
Up 3 top walked in.
Well,
I
see,
gotta,
it's
I gotta
mostly
go across the
reservation based, so
street.
you know when you're going to get your tables for the most part.
Yeah.
I would just have like a 10 top that night, so I know that's coming at 7:30. I'm not going to get anything else because we're slow. So go there and hang out for a little while. It was great. Not unlike other people that would go next door and get shots, like our boy Justin one night.
Oh hell yeah, great story.
So Shea would brought this up. I had forgotten about it. He walked out of the front door of Garibaldi's,
Tray in
empty
hand.
tray in hand, down the street, one door to Molly McPherson's Scottish pub. Walked in, got everybody a Jaeger bomb because that's when Jaeger bombs were real big.
Yeah.
7 Jaeger bomb shots.
Walked back out the front door
With the tray.
with the tray
right back in
in
the front
door,
door,
right
and then
upstairs,
up the stairs,
real quick
with
to
the
the
tray
stairs,
in hand.
and did not get seen.
And we're at our tables talking to him, and we're like, "We'll be right back." Give
And
us
we all
just
go back there,
second."
have
So
a
we just
meeting.
all go back and take the shot real quick, and then go.
We
back
did a
out
lot
and
of
take it.
drinking in there, and a lot of drinking leads to sex sometimes. And there's something I like to talk about: someone losing their job because their panties were found at the crime scene. And due to the size of these panties, I think it was easy to identify the owner of them. But we'll
no-
get into that when
there's-
I can. It's a little much for the
But
regular
we also
listener,
know
but
who's
There's no
involved in that
initials in the panties. Well, I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
like I said earlier, when we were on the break, we were getting pretty deep and dark into some old restaurant stories. So we're gonna save the rest of that for the Patreon.
We're rolling right to Patreon right now. Check it out, patreon.com/FromBehindTheBarcast.
But before we go, for all the platonic listeners, let's hear the F count.
Thing.
I think it's pretty close. I was having a little fun. I think Paxton's got 4, Clint's got 8, and I've got 4. It's somewhere around there. Shea did not drop an F.
He said he wasn't going to.
Well done. Well done.
He did not
well
do
done.
it. So yeah.
I said his 4 and 4. Those are Shea's.
Well, I'll just get him to say it once on
We're gonna
Patreon.
destroy
Yeah,
it. We're gonna destroy it.
Yeah, once we're on Patreon,
Yeah.
fuck that.
And,
There you go. We'll see y'all on the Patreon.
We got him.
we out.
Thank y'all. That was perfect. What's the transition time?
Oh, we're gonna stop completely. It's the outro music.